right, Gemini, so we just had the Empress and the Three of Wands fall out. Both of these are threes. Now, if you look, the color scheme is quite similar on these cards. So, Gemini, I think this month for you is really about growth and about stepping fully into your power of creativity and not allowing anything that has gone on up until now to limit or make you feel defeated. The Three of Wands talks about progress and expanding your horizons and taking action, right? It's this feeling of not only have I been inspired and envisioned the life that I can have, but I've also begun to seize it, right? Because the power that comes from the Empress is something that, yes, is innately feminine because, you know, if you look at the feminine and masculine energies from a spiritual perspective or even like a nature perspective, the idea is that the feminine is the inspiration, is the art, is the muse, right? It's the birthing center, and the masculine energy is just what formulates it, right? If you are a craftsman of some sort, the feminine side of it, the Empress side of it, would be the wood, right? The fact that the earth can grow a tree, and then the masculine cuts it down and turns it into something else, right? So you're realizing that the road to progress is paved in power, okay? But it's a subtle power. It's not a power that is seen, it's a power that is felt, okay? So masculine power is seen, it's flexed, it's shown in money and things and in cars or whatever. But the power of the Empress, the power of the feminine, the power of the spiritual, the power of knowing that sometimes just being, right, and believing is what makes your world flourish. This is about I'm feeling like an upspringing of a new level of, I'm sorry for the silence, I'm feeling this energy. It's just this new, it's just very new. I don't know if you've ever felt this way about yourself before, Gemini. Not that you've never felt creative or powerful, but it's just like, it's like, you don't have to do so much to have a lot, It's this power that radiates from within you. It's almost as if when you look at those like images of like a Buddha or some type of monk or something that's sitting in meditation, and it's as if you could see the unseen, that's radiating off of them. That is very much this. And with the power, the color yellow-orange really dominating both of these cards, this talks about the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. Really, right? Your powerhouses, right? The sexual energy, that is really creative energy, and then the boundaries that come with that, and that harnesses your power. So this month for you, right? Virgo season September, it's really not about what you do, but what you believe and the stepping into your fullest power and your ability to create anything. It's a mind state that you're stepping into this month that then will soon radiate into your world. But I don't think that you're making a lot of physical moves, at least not moves that people can see this month. I think this month for you is all about believing in yourself, right? Believing in yourself so you can create something, right, that is tangible that you can hold on to, right? And those two cards together added up to 6, and this is 4 is 10, right? So your new beginning first starts with believing and coming into the power of creation, right? Sitting into the womb, even for men, right? It's not that you have a womb, but you have feminine energy and you have the ability to create things and you have the ability to self-inspire and to think of new ideas and things that will bring you to your next plateau. Even though plateau seems like a stagnant word, in this case it's not. It's like the next octave, okay? Hey, Gemini. So, listen, I think for most of you, for sure, this is money, right? A money situation, whether you're working, we're trying to get work, changing work, wanting to expand, doing something on your own. This is definitely financial for the most of you. Some of you, your children may be wrapped up into this somehow. And I think for those of you that have the children-related message are not necessarily going to have the financial message for them. For some of you, it could be that you've been worried about your child's financial situation or how your financial situation weighs on that of your child or children. And I think if that resonates with you, your child would be an earth sign or a fire sign. Okay? Particularly Leo energy. So either Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, or Leo. All right? Overall energy this month, Gemini, is the Eight of Cups. So keep on keeping on. I think this is a big move forward. Yes, the Eight of Cups always talks about leaving behind baggage, but I think this really feels like something that is like long overdue. Something that's been plaguing you for a long time, whether it be 8 years, 8 months, 8 weeks. There's just been this like looming fear a little bit, because, you know, Gemini, you're all about experience, right? You're all about experience, but you don't just jump into something lightly that takes money and takes time. You know what I mean? Those things that you do are very well thought out. And that's where people, I think, get you wrong, is they think that, oh, Gemini's here and they're there and they dabble, but like you're not frivolous. You know what I mean? You're not free-wielding to that point. So when you are contemplating making a move, I think that people underestimate how much emotion and thought goes into it, because again, you don't express your emotions really the way that others do. And you know, I understand that because I'm a Virgo. We're both ruled by Mercury. So the activity of our mind is very much tied to how we feel and where our mental state is, and usually what we're doing with ourselves, right? And we're doing with those thoughts and we're doing with those ideas really dictates where we go with things. Now, there's this theme here. Now, water's moving through 1, 2, technically there, but not really. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, right? And the water seems to be moving, particularly in these 2 cards, this way, right, into the future. So there's a need here, I want to say, to get on board with how you feel, right? Coasting, sailing into the future. There needs to be a turning of the tides. You also have 2 figures, well, 3 figures, with their back turned to the present, right? You have this guy that's leaving behind the past, but there's just you know that basically what you know that where you are right now is done. It's done. There's nothing more to gain from where you are right now. And this is a big transition. You have 6, 7, 8. You have 3 cups cards here, which is, 4, excuse me, which is kind of a lot for you, honestly, especially for a career reading. But I think you're just done. I think you're done playing small. I think you're done settling for less. I think you're done second guessing yourself. And you're just ready to really maximize out your potential. In the position of what you need to let go of this month, we have the 2 of Pentacles, as well as the 5 of Cups, which fell out with the 9 of Swords. And the rune there is healing. So with the 2 of Pentacles, right, that's a juggling. Some of you may have been working 2 jobs or wanting to get another job or feeling as though work was running your life and your emotions were running amok, or vice versa, right? Because the 2 of Pentacles always talks about needing to find harmony, needing to find balance. You also have the infinity here, right? The infinity symbol between these 2 pentacles, which is the need to spiritualize yourself or get that message, right? Hear that call to bring harmony and balance to your life. Now, maybe you have fixated yourself on healing a relationship or your relationship with money, or your relationship with money or a relationship with someone. And if it's a relationship with somebody, Money, I think, is involved in some way, even if they are not an employer, right? Physical things are somehow involved in this, right? Two people, Two of Pentacles. There's two polarities that need to be, two things that are very different. This can be two ways of thinking, two ways of feeling, two different people being on different pages, but both parties wanting to just really, really come into union. And again, this does not feel romantic to me. So if it's a love relationship, like meaning there's love in the relationship, I do think it's family-based. You know, like father, child, mother, child, something like that. Friends. Now with the Five of Cups here, right? Disappointment. And the Nine of Swords, anxiety. That's really basically all that's been holding you back from creating a foundation. It's really hard to manage the world around us when we're anxious and when we are constantly thinking about the ways that we failed and the ways that things have not panned out the way we wanted them to. And I think what we fail to remember is that during those periods where things were not exactly how we wanted them to, there is great healing available for us. Like, I know I'm one of those people that sometimes I get in a funk and then I start beating myself up about not making enough money or not doing enough in the house and blah, 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 all this stuff. And then I'll start to finally feel better. And then, like, my work will pick up like that and I'll have all this energy. And it's like, you know what? There's always a rhyme and a reason. There's always a rhyme and a reason. So this month, I urge you to really do whatever it takes to lay off yourself, right? Mercury's in retrograde. Lay off yourself. There's really no need to beat yourself up, because however long it takes you to heal yourself, your bank account, your desires, your connection with your source is your business. And it's really not on your time, you know? And if this involves another person, we can't speed up people's healing process. They have to do it for themselves. And, you know, you have to do your healing for yourself. Even if we want to be right on that same page with that person, we can't really make them, you know what I mean? We can't make it happen any faster. And usually the more we judge ourselves for not being even, for not being in harmony, for not being happy, we actually perpetuate that. We like layer it on, right? We layer it on. Now, if you have lost any type of opportunity, lost friends, lost situations that felt very comfortable and homey to you, again, there needs to be some level of faith and understanding that we never lose anything that is for us. Okay? We never ever lose anything that is for us. So it's important you do whatever you can to move beyond what you have known and what you have identified with, and be willing to listen to that voice that is much quieter, right? To be able to silence the mind, to be able to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and really listen to those parts of you that are not based in reality. They're not based on facts or experiences or things that you've gathered out of books, but are very much based on just your whim, you know? The door that's now open for you that was once closed, we have the Ace of Wands, clarified by the Six of Cups, and the rune we have here is Constraint. Now, with the Six of Cups and the rune Constraint, this is where I brought in children, and I usually don't get the child vibe with the Six of Cups, to be honest, but this felt like children to me. So again, if your relationship with your children was somehow strained, okay, or felt constricting, or it was constricted, whether it be, again, on your behalf or their behalf, is irrelevant. There is a new opportunity to really build something that I think is a lot more in tune, right, with where you both are spiritually and how you both feel. Okay? Excuse me, I had to take a deep breath. I got like a really like strong charge in my heart chakra. So now this ace is coming from the future, right? So you have an opportunity, I feel, to move beyond limitation, especially when it comes to childhood programming as well. And again, the way you have previously identified with your emotions and the people around you. Because there's a kinship here, right? Because in the Five of Cups, he's mourning the loss of 3 cups and doesn't want to see the new relationship, right? So there's anxiety. It's, oh my God, this has ended. What am I ever going to do? I'm so upset. I can't turn around and see new growth. The door that opens is this inspiring, passionate new beginning that is founded on something that you have cultivated, right? Because we had the Empress in the beginning, something that you have cultivated. And it's birthed out of, right? I'm almost feeling like you're squeezing the life out of that old childhood programming in a good way, right? It's like you had to, it's like you literally had to like wring it out like a towel. And like now you're about to hang it out to dry. Because the beautiful thing about constriction is when we feel constrained, right? Or when spirit kind of puts us in a box, backs us up against a wall, we get the urge to fight. We get the urge to press, right? And I don't mean fight in a like resistance type of way. I mean when spirit kind of puts on the pressure, right? We have the urge to push out and push back and say, no, this is my worth, this is my value, and this is what I'm doing. So I do feel as though also this month you're fighting nostalgia and you're fighting slipping back into old patterns. And I think that you will successfully do that because you're realizing that anything less than the progress you've made up until now is a waste. You know what I'm saying? Anything that does not resonate with your here and now, right, with who you are in this very moment, is limiting and almost a lie. Doesn't matter what happened 10 years ago, 6 years ago, 6 months ago. What's real and what's important and what's valid is here. Okay? Your energy for this month, Gemini. In your head, we have the 3 of Wands again. In your heart, the King of Pentacles. And in your foundation, the 9 of Wands. The rune that we had on the 9 of Wands is journey. Law of signs and beginning journey. Because I think everyone really got recalibrated to a new path with that eclipse being so close to the North Node. Okay, so this is divine path. This is something that is big, right? This feels like a big shift. Now, right, 9 of Wands, there is this hesitancy because things have never been how they're about to be. But you have failed maybe in the past, right? Because how many wands do we have altogether? 9, 10, 13, 4. Okay, so it adds up to 4. So what you're going through right now is going to build your foundation. You have to remember that. What you're going through right now will build your spiritual foundation. But it's important that you do not approach things from a place of aggression, right? Or, again, due to something that has happened in the past. Do not approach something with a past mentality. I think that you will be very disappointed. Now, what I find interesting is the 9 of Wands, guys, looking towards the past. The King of Pentacles is looking towards the future, respectively. And then the 3 of Wands has his back turned, right? And he's looking, I guess you could say, towards the future too. But in my opinion, it's towards source. It's towards heaven. You know, it's towards the beyond, the sky. So I think that you finally, this is kind of feeling like, not to, like, in the least Christian way possible. This feels very much like opening of the gates, so to speak, right? With this goldenness, with this golden power. It's like stepping through the gate of progression, stepping through the gate of success, stepping through. It's the beginning though, yeah? This is the beginning because you have the ace, right? The inspiration, the opportunity. You have the 2 when you see the vision, and 3, you begin to seize that vision. Okay? But again, there's this connection and faith that has to come with it. And there needs to be a willingness to leave behind this old path. There's a door that needs to shut. There's a door that needs to shut this month. Let all that you have experienced up until now be the motivation to shut that door. Okay? Good, bad, and ugly. That is the reason and motivation for you to shut that door. With the King of Pentacles in your heart space, again, this really feels financial for me. Or it could be, you know, you could have, like I said, an earth sign in your life, but this feels more than anything like you craving that ultimate security, right? That level of abundance that is immovable, right? Immovable. And what's interesting is you have the king and the queen here, right? So it's as if you've been using more of your masculine energy. Go out and get it. Go in and get it. Oh, what was that? I got a song when this card dropped too. Oh, it was a Rihanna hook from, I believe it was a Kanye West song or T.I. I can't remember. But I got my mind on my money and I'm not going nowhere. Right? Can we keep it like in this paper and keep on shining? All right, so I'm not a singer, obviously. So what are you going to do this month, Taurus? Why did I say Taurus? Wow. Gemini, to take your throne. Maybe for those of you that have Taurus in your chart, this is going to be stronger resonance. What are you going to do this month to take your throne? What are you going to do this month to claim your abundance? Because you believe it in your heart now. So it's just a matter of seizing it. And the only thing that's going to hold you back is past failures. But you have to remember you're not the person you were when you first started. Whatever this path is, you are not the person you were when you first started. So if you stay strong, that's another thing. This is a very immovable force. If you stay strong in your heart, right? If you believe that abundance and that money and that security is yours, then it shall be. Okay? Spirit's advice for you is the Seven of Cups with the rune Standstill and the King of Wands as the clarifier. Now, I do feel as though the King of Wands is your energy this month, Gemini. And I think whatever is halting your dreams coming true, whatever is blocking your manifestation or your clarity or your ability to choose where it is you should be channeling, right, your power and channeling your focus and channeling your creative passion is merely blocked by the fact that you're trying to figure out how to create it into finances prior to just going after it. Okay? Because the King of Wands is extremely confident. Not that the King of Pentacles is confident, but the King of Pentacles is confident because he has things, right? He shows why he's confident. We talked about this in the beginning. The King of Wands is confident because he radiates confidence. He's powerful. He's driven. He does whatever he has to do to go out and create the things that really inspire him and that really light his soul up, okay? So if you are feeling blocked or confused on what it is that you're supposed to focus your energy on, because maybe you have a lot of things that you want to do, or you've been confused as to which job to take, or any of those things, one, I would say, do what you can to not dabble in anything that would lead to escapism, whether that be drinking or watching TV or eating food that like a lot of comfort food, things like that. I would say get out and get active in some way. Either activate your mind, right, in a more not that your mind's not active; it's always active. But I think that you need to just kind of go out and get active and just not let your mind run away from you, and do whatever you can to not feel mentally limited or emotionally limited, because you are going to have a lot of ideas here, but you can't act on everything at once. And the King of Wands is definitely a strong leader. And if you are going to not only have the power and hold it, right, but also create from that, right? If you're going to unify these abilities to make money, there's a need to be willing to put in the effort. Okay? So really tap into spirit this month and remember how limitless you are when you're forward focused and unclouded by the things that are so old about yourself. There's a huge need to stay present this month. And it's funny because the King of Pentacles is kind of having like a stare off with the King of Wands. And these two king energies can harmonize and work together. Okay, they really can. But you have to try. Okay? As much as you want to go get that wealth, that physical attainment of success, you also have to put that same amount of drive in there. Okay? And don't let a bunch of ideas or a bunch of opportunities or a bunch of distractions stop you from that drive. Okay? The most likely outcome is the Queen of Pentacles with the rune protection and the Sun. Now, again, if this was related to a child somehow, again, an Earther Leo child, I think that you'll find that they are protected, or you are able to protect them with your finances, with your security, or you realize that they have secured it for themselves. Okay? Now, ultimately, this is saying that you will get that abundant protection and that ability to manifest, right? You can protect your ability to manifest, and because there's a fear here, right? Of like, it's only the getting's good now, so like how am I gonna keep this ball rolling type of thing? That's what I'm feeling. It's like, how do I keep this financial ball rolling, especially if I'm doing something that is passionate or creative or self-driven, right? But the financial protection and the creative protection comes in when you're focused on happiness, when you're focused on bliss, when you're focused on your inner child and self-expression. You know, Gemini, I always describe the Gemini energy as like you're forever a child. No matter how old you get, you have a childlike spirit. And it's really important to remember that who you are at your core is what will bring you everything that you ever wanted. No one will ever understand like, if you ask somebody like, oh, should I do this or should I do that? They're not going to get it. And I know that I have a desire to be understood too. I think a lot of us do. But it's really important to remember that we are who we are. And no one can take that away from us. And Source rewards those who stand in authenticity, because they understand the bravery that it takes with all the programming and pressure that society holds. So as we prioritize our happiness, Gemini, right? As we prioritize, you know, just shining for who we are, we actually protect ourselves, our assets, and our ability to continue to create and build the life that we desire. Okay? Now let's get you an affirmation. Do you see that? Stuff be flying over here. I am a radiant being enjoying life to the fullest. Didn't I just say radiant? Jeez. My life gets more fabulous every day. I look forward to what each new hour brings. Yeah, so this is overall this month, Gemini, really about enjoying yourself and enjoying life and knowing that the money comes and the time comes and the stability comes through being true. True to yourself. Not letting anybody's projections or experiences that have happened to you in the past dilute what you know to be true now. Gemini, I really hope you found resonance in this message. It has been my pleasure, and I'll be back with you guys soon for your love reading. Peace.